Okay, so thank you for joining me on this podcast. I'd really appreciate it. And if I could just start off by asking, tell me little bit about your background and just kind of how you got involved in the disability community.
Okay, so my background is I'm 24 years old. Well, I guess I just turned 24 in September. I was born September 4th, 1998 in Germany on a military base because my dad's former military. I was there for a couple years till I was like two, and then I came to the States and came to Washington State. And mind you, at that time, my family and I, we didn't know about my disability yet. We hadn't learned about it. We just thought that I was a little bit more slower development for like walking and stuff because I would constantly fall, for instance, and stuff. And so my life in Washington State was pretty normal for like a normal kid. I went to school. I hung out with my siblings at home, did chores, the normal stuff. And then my family moved to North Carolina when I was like 7 or 8. And all we did was take one test, and then we found out what my disability was. And so that's kind of my introduction to the disability community, which is basically um, uh, we took one test in North Carolina. It was like a blood test. I don't remember specifically what it was for, but it instantly said what I had. And so then that's when I went to Cincinnati Children's Hospital in Ohio, where I learned a lot about my disability and everything, which what it is it's Duchenne muscular dystrophy. And what it does is it affects all the muscles throughout the body. It's a degenerative disability, and so it works from the legs up and everything. I walked full time till I was 13, and then from 13 through 17, I basically had a power wheelchair where I used it, but I also still walked around. And then 17 is when I fully stopped walking and just used my chair full time and everything. And so basically, yeah, that's how I learned about it and everything.
Cool. So like what are you doing career-wise? Because you graduated college at the University of Urbana-Champaign. Um, so like what are you doing in that aspect?
Well, I wanted to correct you on that real quick. My twin brother Jonah is the one who graduated from Urbana-Champaign. For me, this is what I mean by our paths differing. For me, I started college right after high school at Kent State University in Ohio and Kent, Ohio. Um, there were some things that I thought I was getting there that I didn't, and then also I basically wasn't mature enough for college life by myself at that moment. I thought I was, but I wasn't. I didn't do what I was supposed to do grade wise and everything. And so I only lasted a semester, and then I had to go to the community college route by basically moving to Illinois moving in with my mom and going to the local community college to get myself back on track. Um, when I left for college at 18 to Kent State, I was able to convince my mom to let me go because my dad, my brother, and sister thought that I should just go to community college route because I need more nurturing for like teachers and stuff. And I was irritated with that. And I wanted to prove them wrong, but obviously they were right about that and everything. Because my brother and sister school's always come easy for them. And for me, it's been a little bit harder and everything and stuff. And so I wanted to prove I was just like them and everything, but I should have gone the community college route, and that would have definitely helped with everything. So going back to when I moved to Illinois and went the community college route. And basically, I was able to get my associates in sports management, so a kinesiology with specifically in sports management. And then after that, I decided to transfer to the university I'm at right now, 4 year called St. Martin's University in Washington State. Um, and my major is business administration. It would have been sports management, but they don't have that. So the closest I got to was business administration. was business administration. Okay, so to answer your question about what I'm going to be doing, or like what I've well, yeah, what I'm going to be doing career wise is basically right now I'm a full-time student. When I get my degree, what I'm hoping to do is basically for a sports team that's like in college or professional. I want to be in the background doing things like office work, but background stuff, because I love watching sports a lot. I love keeping up with it, like the history and everything. And just being around the atmosphere is exactly what I want, even if it's like a regular office job, because I can definitely do that. I don't want to do journalism because I'm not really good at explaining myself. I don't want to do marketing because I learned I don't like marketing and stuff. So yeah,
Yeah, yeah, that's cool. Thanks for correcting me on where you went to school. My apologies.
it's all good.
But that's it's really great that you really using your path as a in business administration to really do great things. What I wanted to ask is how have those, kind of those experiences like been like for you personally? Like, I know this is kind of general, but just like um going through the whole business management cycle, what kind of drew you in to that um career?
Well, what drew me into that is basically I learned, for me, I always wanted to be around sports. Obviously, I couldn't play sports, which is what I wanted to do when I was a child, but obviously I wasn't going to be able to. I wanted to do that, and then and so I wanted to be a general manager for a sports team, but you need kind of experience with sports, like playing it, or or like math wise, basically being really good with numbers too, because you're managing a whole team. And the team, it's a very important job, and you can't mess it up and everything. And so I wanted to be a GM, but I don't think that's going to happen either, because I really, that takes a lot of like watching film and doing a lot of things, like if you've played sports before and everything. And so then I basically looked at like what else I could do. And the best I could come up with is basically a regular office job, like management side, but basically for a sport, doing it for a sports organization, be it pro or college, is basically how I got to that. And so, yeah.
That's cool. If I could just like ask, were there moments in your career path that made you want to say, I can see myself doing this for a extended number of years? Like, if there were moments in your life that were like that, what were they? And like, um, yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to ask because I just already asked like what channeled and motivated you to pursue that career. That part is already answered. So like, were there moments in your career path that made you like want to say like I can see myself doing this for a certain amount of time.
Oh, okay.
What was that like for you?
Okay. So for me, I'm trying to think, because a specific moment would be, I guess, in college, because in college is at the beginning is when what I just said is what I wanted to do. But then as I started taking classes into content, because basically business administration, there are a bunch of concentrations. There's management, there's marketing, and there are a couple other things or accounting. I wanted to do management because um, uh, I felt like that'd be the best for me in terms of having an office job that deals with just things in general. Like I said, what I want is a regular, like a office job, like managing things, like maybe yeah, managing things, but just being around sports, because I love sports so much. I'll do anything to be around sports other than marketing, of course, and stuff. So my moment would be it would be starting my management classes in my major. Those classes, they were I liked them a lot and stuff. So
Yeah, that's cool. Because for me, the reason why I wanted to pursue journalism is to like, because I like watching the news and like writing about it. I've written articles, and it's something that, writing is my strength, and so I've been able to do that throughout my journalism classes. Um, so my experience is a good segue into this last question, because like a lot of times, when I was in high school, or like, I would tell people would ask me, well, what are you gonna do when you go to college? I would say I would pursue a journalism career, and they would be like skeptical, like, um, well, what are you gonna do about it? Stuff like that, you know what I mean? But like it's always this self-doubt that people, have, like that person is not going to be successful in that career, or doesn't think that that will happen. So my last question with respect to that is, there's so much, stigma and negativity against people with disabilities, in terms of like when people say those kinds of statements. So I'm wondering, like how can you like not necessarily prove people wrong, and just say like, I can do this, I'm able to pursue whatever degree I want, and just, stay focused and determined. I know it's kind of a long-winded question, but I was wondering if you could answer that.
well, what I would say for that is people can feel how they want to feel, but there's no reason, like there's nothing that it doesn't do good for them to downplay what we want to do. Whatever we want to do, it should be let us pursue it. And then if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out, but let us do what we want to do. Like for people who doubt it and who say maybe you shouldn't do that, or I don't think it's wise to do that, they should just accept, because we're regular, we're people too. We're not any different than anybody else. Even if we have some differences, it doesn't change the fact that we have a dream that we want to pursue. And so what I would say to that is they should just accept that we're going to do what we're going to do, and that's just all there is to it. They don't have them saying that no, you can't do it. There's no point, because it doesn't help them or hurt them in any way to if we fail or if we succeed in stuff, is what
Hmm.
I would say to that.
Yeah. Have you had that sort of experience?
Um, I haven't had that specific experience yet. I'm lucky that I haven't, because I haven't gotten a chance to get to that yet, because of how my path in college has been. But the other thing is, and yeah, the other thing is for my disability, I've been lucky that like mentally and stuff like that, I'm all there, because there are unfortunate circumstances where some people with with my disability, or like any of the certain types of muscular dystrophy, they have other issues like like they're not like mentally and stuff like that, and maybe like even more physical things, because for me, I'm just someone who's in a chair who does need some more assistance with things, but I can still get around. I can still transfer over from my chair to like my bed, to the bathroom, or to the shower and stuff like that. And so I've been very fortunate to be able to do things where when someone looks at me, other than being in the chair, I act totally, I am, it's like to them, like a normal person and everything. So I haven't experienced that yet. That may change though, as I get more into my college, when I'm trying to intern and stuff like that, that type of stigma. And so, yeah, like I said, I've been fortunate that I haven't had to deal with that yet, but I do expect that at some point to happen, because I am in a chair. And there are people that have feelings about it, even if it's wrong that they have.
If yeah, if for example someone has that sort of experience where like, people outside of them or friends closest to them are like doubting that they can do something, like pursue a career, what would, like be your one piece of advice, or like what kind of um things would they have to like consider to like prove them wrong? Is it all about, being determined, or like what do you say about what can you say about that?
What I would say is if they're close friends of yours, what you need to do is you can accept what they say. You can understand that they're saying because they love you and they're saying it for they think that they want to help you and stuff. And all you have to do is you have to tell them that you accept what they say, you accept their feelings and everything, but you're still gonna do what you're gonna do, and you can thank them for looking out for you and everything. But if you're really passionate about what you want to do, still pursue it, because if it doesn't work out for you and everything, you always have your friends who have your back, you have your family that has your back, and they will accept you still, and you'll be able to move on and stuff.
Yeah, that's cool. Having that family and close connection, I think it's really important, and can sort of, they're your support system, and that's really important.
Yes.
So, okay.